Hey guys, today I am doing a deck profile on my Utopia deck. So if you guys follow me on Instagram, link in the description, you might have saw a post a few days ago showing ZS Arm Sage, and it said that I was in the works of a Utopia deck. Well, that Utopia deck is finished, and it does have all the new stuff and all of that new support. And without further ado, let's get into it. So the first card we have is Astro Karibo. This is one of the new cards. Also new Karibo, which is awesome because Karibos are the best. And it lets you reveal numbers in your deck. Basically going to be Utopias for me. I don't know. You guys can edit this around whatever way you want. And then you can summon this card with an equal level to that card's rank. But I can only summon number cards for the rest of this turn, so not really a huge setback. And then if I use this card to summon a number, it cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. So that's a nice little bonus and extra special summon. The cost really isn't bad. So yeah, this is not a new support, but it's still good. Dwarf Go Glove. So this will let me summon any Zubaba or Gaga from my hand during my main phase. And if I control a Go or Dodo, except Dodo, Go Dwarf, Glove, when this card's in my grave, I can summon it. So that's basically, if it's summoned from the grave, and it lets me summon something from my hand whenever it's on the field. So great card when I'm trying to get out of Utopias. Gaga Gardna is, well, Gaga Gardna. If you guys haven't seen Zexal, then this card basically is gonna help you block direct attacks. I chose this one. I chose Gaga Gardna over Gaga Magician. Gaga Magician, because if for the weird reason that you are under a direct attack, maybe they Raigeki you and you didn't have the cards ready to negate it or protect you, then Gaga Gardna could maybe save you. So I did choose him over Magician. Next, we have one Yugioh Giant. And this is for the Dodo Go Glove thing. His ability, so that I can summon him back. And then if that's negated, then I also got Yugioh Giant's ability to summon him back. And also, Yugioh Giant can bring back your Utopic Onomatopoeia. So that's always a nice bonus. Then we have Kage, which is very simple. Whenever I normal summon a level 4 monster, he can also be summoned. So I'm playing 2 of him because he cannot be normal summoned himself. But I do like his ability and his extra summon, so I have 2. Because it's a decent card to have for this deck. And if you have Utopia Onomatopoeia, and this card's always treated as any of the Yuma archetypes, which are Zubaba, Gaga, Go, or Dodo. And during my main fights, I can summon one of each of those from my hand in defense mode. But I can only Xyz summon for the rest of the turn, but as you'll see later, we have nothing but Xyz. Then we have ZS Arm Sage, one of the other new cards, which is very good. And if the only monster I control is a level 4 monster not named ZS Arm Sage, I can summon this card from my hand. And if I use this card to summon Utopia, then I can add one ZW monster from my deck to my hand, which are basically the Zexal weapons, which you'll see later. Then we have ZS Ascend Sage, which if I control no cards, I can summon this card. And when I use him to summon a Utopia, I can add a rank up magic normal spell from my deck to my hand. So both of those are really good comboing together, and if I do that, I can also maybe summon something else, giving me 2 Utopias that turn. Now we have our Zexal weapons. I do not have many of them because these are really all I have ever needed. Feel free to add more to the deck if you want, but I feel this is perfectly balanced right now. And so I have ZW Lightning Blade. This card will give my Utopia 1,200 extra points, and it protects all my other ZW cards, which is very useful whenever someone tries to Harpy's Feather Dust me or something. And if my Utopia would be destroyed by a card effect, I can destroy this card instead, making sure that my Utopia can help stick around and protect me. And now for the cards that my lightning blade will be protecting, like the new one, ZW Pegasus Saber. This card can be special summoned if my opponent's life points are at least 2,000 higher than mine. And I can only use this card I can only equip this card to a Utopia by its own effect if it's on the field. So that little 2,000 life point higher thing becomes very important, and we do have ways to make that happen. So but when it's on the field, I can target one Utopia. It gets 1,000 extra attack points, and once per turn, I can negate a monster effect on my opponent's field. So very nice. I have 2 of him because, well, he's very epic. Then I have Tornado Bringer, who will give my monster 1,300 points and make sure it can't be targeted. So yes. And once more, if a monster will be destroyed, it can just get rid of itself to protect it, which is also very good. Then we have Zubaba Cho Gagaga Go. And if I can choose Zubaba or Gagaga, except for this card, I can summon it. And also, I can target one Go-Go or Dodo in my graveyard and special summon it. This is why I only have one other Go-Go besides the Dwarf, because I have multiple ways to get cards out of the grave and summon back onto my field. Then we have Double or Nothing. And I'm not really going to explain that, because if you watch Zexal at all, like this first episode, you know exactly what that does. It also has more than one purpose in this deck, so yes. Then we have the new Rank Up Magic card, Hyper Rank Up Magic Utopia Hope Force. So yes, very cool design. I like the picture. It's card art. And I can target one rank 9 or lower Utopia Xyz monster. And special from my deck, one rank 10 or higher Utopia or Utopic Xyz monster. By using that card as material. And if an Xyz monster is special summoned by a rank 10 or higher Utopia or Utopic Xyz monster's effect, while this card is in my grave, I can target one of those summoned monsters and attach this card to it as material. This is basically so that whenever you summon Dranger and use his effect, or use Utopic Dragon's power to bring back a card from the grave, you can basically equip it with, you can basically get an extra material for that card with Hyper Rank Up Magic Hope Force. Then we have 2 Onomatopeia, which will let me add one of the various Yuma types from my deck to my hand. 2. But I can only add one of each, so it's still very useful. I only have 2 of those because a lot of times you won't really need it, but it does come in handy sometimes. Next, I have 3 copies of Rank Up Magic Zexal Force, another new Rank Up Magic. And I can target one Xyz monster I control, and special from my extra deck, one Utopia or ZW monster that is 1 rank higher. So basically, this card will let me use any Xyz monster to go into a Leo Utopia Ray, a Utopia Ray Victory, Lightning, Dragonic Utopia Ray, or Zexal Weapon Dragonic Halberd. And this is how we get that 2,000 life point thing going. My Xyz Change Tactics will let me pay 500 life points to draw a card every single time I Xyz summon a Utopia. So in terms of getting an extra card, you also get those life points down. So summon 4, boom, you're good. Then we have Zexal Field. And my opponent cannot activate if cards or effects in response to basically me equipping stuff with my Zexal weapons, which is also very good. And if an Xyz monster special summons to my field, I can target my monster and attach one Xyz monster from my deck or graveyard, extra deck or graveyard to it as material. And then during my draw phase, I can place one Shining Jaw on top of my deck. So basically, for those of you who don't know, Shining Jaw will let you just do some stuff, but only if it's drawn during your draw phase. I do not have it because I never really whenever I did have it in here, I did test this deck, and it never really seemed to help me out, so I took it out. Another new card, Zexal Construction. And I can reveal a card in my hand, and then add a ZW monster, a ZS monster, a Zexal Spell Trap, a rank up magic spell, or a rank down magic spell. But then I gotta shuffle the reveal card back into my deck, which usually if you have this and you can summon out Utopia Double, That would also be a good combo. You can just shuffle double or nothing back into your deck. And then I'm pretty sure a lot of people would disagree with this, but I'm only playing one Zexal in Trust because I never really seem to need more than just one. And what it does is it lets me target one Utopia, ZW, or ZS monster in my graveyard, add it to my hand, or special summon it. And once more, if my opponent has 2,000 or more life points than me, I can banish this card from my grave and target one other Zexal card in my grave and add it to my hand. The only other Zexal cards we have are Construction, Field, and our rank up magic spell. So, yeah. And I only play one of it because really I only use to summon back my Utopias and just in case, which never really happens often where I need one. Now to the new Utopia cards. We got Leo Utopia Ray. And I can attach a material from him to equip one ZW from my extra deck or deck onto this card. I usually go with Pegasus Saber or Lightning Blade first to start off. But, yeah. And then its quick effect, which is great. I can target one effect monster my opponent controls and negate its effect and then half its attack, which is epic, and that's helped me out many times. I'm not going over this one, but number 39 Utopia. We should all know that one. Then we got Utopia Double, which a quick effect is it can detach one material from this card, add my double or nothing from my hand, and then I can use this card to summon another Utopia Xyz monster. And it has double attack. I sometimes go for Dranger, or sometimes I go for something else, but yeah. And speaking of Dranger, you got number 99, Utopia Dranger, which is basically the replacement for number 99, Utopic Dragon. I'm being honest, I would much rather have seen Utopia Dranger in the final duel between Astral and Yuma than Utopic Dragon, but... So this card I can attach two materials from this card and special summon one number that has a number between 1 and 100. So no Numeronius for people who are hoping that would be overpowered. And also no Barian numbers, which isn't really too much of an inconvenience, but I know some people will be sad. I'm pretty sure there are many cool combos you can pull off with this, but I usually go for Utopias. And whenever this card's attacked, I can also change my opponent's monster attack points to 0. So that's also some extra protection. And I do have number 99 Utopic Dragon as well. This card very easy to summon. In addition to using that new rank up magic spell, I can also discard a rank up magic spell and use a Utopia monster as material. And once per turn, I can target one number in my grave and special summon it in defense mode. But sadly, its effects are negated. And during either player's turn, when a monster effect is activated that targets my dragon, I can just simply detach the material, negate the activation, and destroy the card. So yeah, that's a pretty useful card sometimes. A lot of times I never really comes to that, but it has helped me a few times. Then we have the good old number C39 Utopia Ray. I really don't use this card for its own effect, but yeah. I mostly use it just in a jam in case I need to go into lightning. And then there's always one of my old favorites, number C39 Utopia Ray Victory. And I summon this card using Zexal, my rank up magic spell, or sometimes, if I really don't have anything else, I'll use double. And one time when my game malfunctioned, this card helped me. If this card attacks, your opponent cannot activate any spell or trap cards until the end of the damage step. And if it has a Utopia monster as material, it gains an extra ability, being when this card declares an attack on a face-up monster my opponent controls, I can detach one of these material from this card and negate that monster's effects. And this card will also gain these points, that card's points. Lightning can thus be summoned by using a Utopia that's rank 4 as material. It itself cannot be used as an Xyz material, but if this card battles, my opponent can activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. And once per chain, during damage calculation, if this card battles an opponent's monster and it has Utopia as material, I can simply detach two materials and it will gain, its attack points will be 5,000. Very good, helps out a lot. Next up, we got another new Utopia, Ultimate Dragonic Utopia Ray. In once per turn, whenever it's targeted by a card or effect, I can simply just equip it with a Zexal weapon card, which is very helpful. Especially if I just equip it with one of my own Zexal weapons, its effect goes off, and then I can equip it with another one. Once more, also help me when my game malfunctioned. And I can once per turn, I can attach one material from this card, then target face-up cards my opponent controls, up to the number of ZWs, any cards I have, any equip to it, and negate their effects. So very good. And then we have the new ZW cards, ZW Dragonic Cowbird, which is very good. It cannot attack directly, but it's a ZW, so you know it's going to be equipping onto something. And once per turn, I can attach one material from this card, add one Zexal spell or trap from my deck to my hand. I'll be honest, I don't really plan. I never really plan on summoning this card and giving it material, but if you guys do, cool. But it's a good effect is I can target one Utopia monster I control, equip it, and it gains 3,000 attack points. When the equipped monster destroys a monster by battle, I can special summon all my ZWs to my field, get off some extra damage. Now I move on to my side deck. I'm pretty sure you guys can really change this up any way you want, but yeah. I have Gaga Cowboy, Gaga Magician, number F0 Utopic Future, number F0 Utopic Future Dragon, and extra Utopia the Lightning just in case, really going to go in, a Tornado Dragon that might go in sometimes, an extra Dragonic Utopia Ray never really goes in, and a ZS Utopic Sage, and goes in sometimes. And just in case you really need some extra draw power, you can always put in your extra Xyz change tactics, or if you seem to be losing your Utopias a lot, an extra Zexal Entrust. And guys, without further ado, that is all that is left of our glorious Utopia deck. I hope you guys will join me next time, and I'll see you later. Bye.